Janine is packing carrots. Each large box holds 20 2-pound bags of carrots. If Janine has 800 bags of carrots, how many boxes can she fill? So if she has 800 bags of carrots, each large box holds 20 bags. So it says here how many boxes. And so um, each large box holds 20 bags. So we got 800 is what she has. She has 800 bags of carrots, and we're going to divide that by 20 because each box holds here 20 of these bags of carrots. So here that leaves us now with 440, boxes. So it's just straight division. There are 24 pictures on a roll of film. Adela had 84 pictures from her trip home. She said that 12 other pictures were spoiled. How many rolls of film did Adela use? So she had 84, but it was actually 12 more, but the other 12 were spoiled. So she has 96 pictures divided by 24 pictures per roll. Just leaves you 4 here, 4 rolls. It is 170 miles from Bruce's home to the city where his brother lives. On his last trip to visit his brother, he drove 2 hours at 55 miles per hour. Then he came to some very bad road construction. The rest of the trip took 2 hours. How many how many miles per hour did Bruce drive for the rest of the trip? So he has 170 miles total to go. He drove for 2 hours. He drove for 2 hours at 55 miles per hour. So here, for 2 hours at 55 miles per hour. Well, that's 170. You multiply 2 times 55, we have, 110 miles. Now that leaves 110 from 170, just leaves you 60 miles left. And then it says the rest of the trip took him 2 hours. So in 2 hours, he does 60 miles. So the remaining trip (60 miles) he drove in 2 hours. So this implies that if he's doing 60 miles per 2 hours, then you simplify that, that's 30 miles in 1 hour. (60 divided by 2, right? It's 30. Eric and his work crew have 50 trees to plant. In 8 hours, they planted 40 trees. So if they work at the same rate tomorrow, well, what rate is that? So they could do 40 trees per 8 hours. Now the rate of that, you divide 40 by 8, and this implies that we have, actually they're doing 5 trees per hour. Now they have 10 trees left. If they did 40, but they started off with 50, so they have 10 trees left. 10 trees here at, if they're doing 5 trees per hour, and if they have 10 trees, then that means that it's going to take them 2 hours, right? The rate is here for each hour, 5 trees. They have 10 trees, so that's 5 plus 5. That's 10 trees. That's 2 hours. So here they're doing 10 trees left, and they can do that based on this rate. They could do that in 2 hours. Ethel is arranging rods so that 27 members of her club can go bowling. Some people can ride in a van that belongs to the center where they meet. The rest must ride in cars. If 10 can go in the van, so if 10, excuse me, I can't see. If 12 can go in the van, right? So you have 27 people minus, let's get rid of these 12 folk that want to ride in the mama soccer van. And so that leaves you with 15 people left. So 15 left to ride in cars. So, but only 5 people can go in each car. So that's 15 divided by 5. And that means that you have 3 cars to ride the 15 people in. There are 5 flower gardens in front of the building where Eddie works. Eddie has 40 red and 80 white flowering plants to put in the garden. Now, how many plants does he have in all? He has 120, right? The 40 plus the 80 is 120 plants. Right. How many plants will be in each garden if he plants the same number in each? Well, there are 5 gardens, so that's just 120 divided by 5, and that gives you 24 plants per garden. Helen is helping plan a trip for 3 classes at her son's school. School rules say that classes on trips must have 1 adult for every 6 children. One class has 24 children, one has 26 children, and the third has 28 children. Each class has 1 teacher, so that's 1 adult. How many other adults are needed for the trip? So what I did was just to add the number of kids that we have total. So it's 24, 26, and 28. And that gives you 78 children. 3 classes, and for each class there's a teacher, so that teacher can cover 6 people. So that's 6 plus 6 plus 6. That's 18. I'll take 18 from that 78, just left you with 60 children. So if you got 60 children, and then for every 6 children, there has to be a chaperone. So how many chaperones do you need? 60 divided by 6 leaves you with here 10 adults that are needed. Kate is making pizza. She puts 8 ounces of cheese on each pizza. If she has here 4 24-ounce packages of cheese, how many pizzas can she make? Well, she has a lot of cheese, and people like cheese on their pizza. So let's see, how many ounces of cheese does she have? Well, she has 4 times 24. Ounces, OZ, it's been a long time. So that's 96 ounces of cheese. She puts 8 ounces on each cheese, so that's 96 divided by 8, and that gives us here 12 pizzas. Thank you.